how do you feel about Kanye as a designer and coming from the world of music?
It's not a news story where we have a musician who wants to become a fashion designer. That's a tale as old as time. But what's interesting about Kanye, he had really bad reviews in Paris. He was humbled. He was like, oh my goodness, I need to really study this. I need to take this seriously. But now we have his collection for Adidas. And he's very futuristic, and he's like, this is how people are gonna dress, this is very now. I actually enjoyed it. I love the Yeezys, his Adidas shoes, and I was like, oh my goodness, these are actually something that really parlays into my generation.
But what's different about his Adidas sneakers than somebody else's?
Well, first of all, it's called the Yeezy. Second of all, it has a Kanye West stamp of approval. But other than that, I think that it's a really cool high top. I saw a guy wearing it during Fashion Week. Somehow he had the connection with Adidas like everyone has. And I was like, oh my gosh, those are the Yeezys. And he instantly looked so cool. It was just a really cool, futuristic, but simple, elegant shoe.
So, Eliza, how do you feel about the Kanye
I feel
commotion?
like, why the hell not? I mean, why not? I just feel like there's so much crossover. Everyone's doing everything.
Yes.
Why not? He can do it, and he's playing.
So let me ask you this. So you worked for Donna Karan when she was still really woven into the company. So Donna is considered one of the most important American designers of the last 30 years of this century for sure, and the latter part of the last century. So she's a real true blue designer whose passion really pointed her into fashion, not into celebrity. She became a celebrity. So how do you feel about the distinct difference, or how do you identify real talent in fashion versus marketing when you work for a company that really has its soulful roots in design?
Well, anyone who's ever seen Donna drape knows exactly what it means to design. I mean, she can take a bed sheet and turn it, Fern, into a gown.
She failed draping at Parsons.
Correct. She failed draping at Parsons. She did. And I think, we joke, we call it like Donna Karan Fashion University because so many people have gone through her school of design, from Christopher Bailey to, Narciso to, there's so many people who have learned from her. She's a mentor to so many, and I think that she never ever has done it for the press. It's all about the fabric for her and how the fabric speaks to her. And yes, she failed draping, but
But you seem to be able to appreciate both sides of this.
Yeah.
The Kanye marketing machine and the Donna Karan talent.
I think there's a place for the marketing machine and the press machine, and I also think bravo if you can take something, put the smoke and mirrors on it, and make it into something that people read about.
Let's come over
I had actually heard about a really important American designer who's taking a hiatus at the moment, and that Kanye went through his archives with him and his warehouse and asked him to design his collection.
Yes.
And I will not say who that was.
I will say.
Be careful.
Be cautious.
And he said, absolutely not. It was just completely like the other end of the spectrum.
Yes.
So to that degree, I don't believe that Kanye is sitting there drawing and designing things. But I have no problem with a celebrity doing a collection if it has validity and is great. People like Victoria Beckham and the Row started out as celebrities, and they have really transmorphed into being designers before they're celebrities.
Very seriously.
They really take the craft. I was objecting to just the Kanye machinery out there. That attitude, that bombardment of everything, the meanness, the craziness, the pouting. It's like, stop. Can we just get on with the show and see the shows? Stop with all this Kanye madness.
This story was told in very great detail by the very important American fashion journalist for the Wall Street Journal, Terry Agins, in her last book, which was called Hijacking the Runway. And it was about how celebrities have stolen the spotlight from designers. And she illustrates this story about...
I interviewed her at the Y.
And you did. And Fern did a piece on her at the Y, and everybody kind of dances around this. So I highly recommend reading that book, and I'll tell you, and you guys should all read the book too. It's Ralph Rucci.